Hi, I'm Monique from Creative Communications Art Studio, and I want to do an Easter craft with you today. Honestly, Easter is my favorite holiday. I like it more than Christmas. So when I thought to myself, what kind of an Easter craft could we do? I thought to myself, my favorite thing that I like to do with my kids in the art studio is paper mache eggs. And I'm going to show you a better picture of all of them. But my favorite one, I'm going to show you one that I did a couple of years ago. You can look up close and see all the little details of little tiny scraps of paper that are put together all the way around the whole entire thing. And I've got an up-close picture of a few of them in an Easter basket that I can show you. And then when they're all dry, you can tie a little ribbon and you can give it to somebody you love. This one is for my husband. And then I have a whole bunch in the Easter basket because once you make one, they're so much fun that you kind of want to make a whole bunch. So I made one for each member of my family. And then, of course, I had to make them for my parents and I had to make them for my siblings. And before you knew it, I was making just for everybody because it's fun to give presents. And then you can watch movies and make them. You can do all kinds of stuff while you make them. All you need is a few extra things. And I have a whole materials list all written down for you. And I'm going to send it to you. But sometimes, it can be easier to hear that out. So you're going to need wrapping paper. Just any kind of wrapping paper. If it's thin, it's dollar store wrapping paper. That's actually better. You're going to need a dish to put the pieces in. I use one like this. And yes, that is from a microwave meal. So those little things you can recycle into it that way. You're going to need a small paintbrush. Then you're going to need a small glass, like a baby food jar, maybe for the mixture that we're going to use. You're going to need Elmer's glue, water, plastic eggs. And that's what we're going to use for a base to cover over them. And then you're going to need like a plastic tray to put the completed wet egg onto so that it can dry. And we are going to get started, and I'm going to give you a minute to go get your supplies. So you may be wondering how it is we are going to make all of the little scraps of paper go on an egg. So what we're going to do is we are going to take Elmer's glue, and we're going to take a little tiny jar, and we are going to put a lot of Elmer's glue in there. It's going to be 1/4 Elmer's glue and the rest with water. So 1/4 and 3/4 to make the whole. Then you're going to mix it up just so that it becomes almost like a milk consistency. Okay, I have a baby food jar. It's like the perfect size. And then a paper plate is good enough for your scraps of paper. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do the tearing of the paper. And yes, I know, everybody says, I know how to tear paper. But what you need to know is that on the edges of the paper, there is a very fine way that you can see and how to tear the paper. Now, if you look up really close, you're going to see that there's edges on this paper. You see how all of them have like the little tiny pieces that show you that it's going to stick to something else. Whereas on a piece that has a cut, it does not have that same ability to have that happen. It's got a nice straight edge. The straight edge doesn't stick to the other pieces very well. So you need to have every single little side have a little fray. And the other thing that you want to remember is that not all wrapping paper is going to be created equal. Some of it is going to have like a big space with no design. Others is going to be having all the designs. So you want to make sure that you're picking pieces that you think are going to look good on your egg. So what I did is I'm going to show you a picture too of the wrapping papers that I've used. And I'm going to show you how to rip it. So don't get frustrated with your kiddos when they go to try to rip it. This is a fine motor skill. And you're going to find that some kids are better at ripping than others. You may have to help them. You're also going to know that the paper is going to want to rip in one direction easier than another direction. And that's called tearing with the grain of the paper. So tear it in the lines. Make sure you get rid of those straight edges. And then just make a huge pile of paper. And we're going to do this in a time lapse so that you're not having to watch me rip paper. It's going to take a while. All right? Thanks. Okay, so now it's time to do our eggs. So I've got my brush, I've got my little jar of glue and water, I've got my plastic eggs, and I've got my ripped up papers, and I got my plastic tray. And now I just want a friend to do this with, because it's more fun when you get to talk to somebody. So I invited my daughter to come with me. Come on over. So you ready to do an egg?
Yes, I am.
All right, it's going to be fun. So now what you're going to do, and I'm going to try to do this facing you as much as possible. And this is Miriam. Miriam knows how to do this. She's been doing this with me in the studio for years. Probably her whole life. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some glue and water on your brush. And you're going to rub it on your egg first in just a small space. And then you're going to find a paper that you like. And you're going to put it on top of that wet space. And then you're going to rub all on top of it. Your egg may end up becoming a little drippy later on, but for now, you don't need to have it be too drippy. And now you're going to do another piece, but you're going to make sure that this one goes on top of the one that you just did just a little bit. And then you just keep going. Let's see. You see how easy this is, everybody? It's actually really relaxing to be able to sit there and make something beautiful. Be able to make something that is going to last for years to come. You can use these to decorate for years to come. That blue and white one that I showed you, I think I created that back when my husband and I were very first married, so that's going back a little ways.
Yeah, but it's still intact.
Yes, it is.
Which is nice. You get to hold on to those memories.
Yeah. So Miriam.
Yes.
This egg that I'm making right here, should this be for maybe Grammy or Meme?
That one should be for...
No,
Grammy.
I know. This one should go to New York.
Oh, yeah. That would
so perfect.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. All right, so if you're watching, you get to see the one that goes directly to New York. What perfect colors for my tiny niece.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if her older sister would like to have the same colors.
Oh, I wonder.
So friends, as you keep going, you just want to make sure that your previous one overlaps just a little bit. You don't want to make everything one on top of the other, but just make good decisions about where you want the darks and the lights and where you want patterns to fit in and everything. And make sure that underneath it is wet and on top of it is wet. And wait till you see how gorgeous they come out when they're done. Miriam, you want to show them your egg real quick?
Yeah. I had to switch my papers because it wouldn't work.
Oh.
So I'm doing this kind of egg.
Well, it's probably good for everybody to know what ones wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was the sparkly paper.
It was the sparkly blue one that we cut.
So sad. Okay, I was kind of looking forward to that sparkly paper, and I know one of my viewers is. So sorry, Sue. So just be noted, we can't use sparkly paper. But Thank you very much. We'll check back with you in a couple minutes and show you what they look like done. Okay, so we had fun making our eggs, didn't we, Miriam?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to let them dry. And then when we're all dry, we're going to put little bows on them and figure out who we're going to give them to. But I know we're going to have to make quite a few. We've got a big family, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You can give these to friends and everything. It's going to be great. So give yourself enough time. That's why I'm posting this video right after Palm Sunday. That way you'll have enough time for the whole entire week to make these. I know everybody's got a lot of things that they want to get done while they're on their quarantine break, but I'm sure that housework is up there and everything else, and watching lots of movies and everything, but make time for your crafting. Wash your hands, make sure you clean up your mess, and then enjoy making more eggs. It's wonderful doing crafts with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, Miriam, for joining me.
You're welcome.